September 29, 1787. Following her bout of madness at the Old Woods, Eliza headed toward the abandoned keep. She reasoned that the ruins of the old fort might be a place where the creature might hide. As she approached a fork in the road, the smell of rancid meat permeated the air. Suddenly, a gaunt figure sprung from the tree line and stood motionless on the path in front of her, its blackened eyes glaring in the moonlight. The emaciated creature scuffled toward her with great swiftness. It stretched out its bony arm and hissed in a devilish voice.
Evil commoner.
Hello everyone, thank you so much for joining me at the Solo Gamers Club. Tonight we're going to be continuing on with our playthrough of A Touch of Evil 10-year anniversary edition. This is episode 2 and we are in the process of testing a custom-made villain called the Draug. When we left off from the previous video, the villain track has not moved, it's still at 20. So we're in good shape with the villain track. We're going to continue on now. My brother Marcus is our first player, and he's going to roll for movement. He's currently at the monastery. Roll is a 6, and brother Marcus has a cavalry horse, which adds 1 to his movement, so he has a total of 7 movement. I think brother Marcus is going to spend 3 movement points. He's going to move from the monastery through the North Dock, where he's going to automatically collect an investigation. And he's going to take the boat across the Echo Lake to the Forgotten Island. So brother Marcus arrives at the Forgotten Island. There are no enemies to fight. So he's going to go to his take action step. Now the villain has an active card that remains in play called At Midnight They Come. And it says, while the card is in play, any hero in a town space at the end of the mystery phase must roll a d6. On a roll of 1 or 2, the hero is attacked. Draw a haunting to fight. So I think brother Marcus is going to use his Strength of Spirit ability. And for 2 investigation, he can attempt to cancel any mystery card on a d6 roll of 4 or greater. So I think we'll start out with brother Marcus using his Strength of Spirit. So brother Marcus will spend the 2 investigation tokens, and he's going to make a roll and see if he can cancel that card. Roll is a 6, and he's successful once again, and the card is discarded. That is great. And now brother Marcus is going to encounter his space, and we're going to draw a card from the Forgotten Island. The card is revealed to be Journal Pages, 24th of March, 1723. To whomever should find this journal, as you read this, I pray that you are no longer on the island. This place is altogether evil. Make an honor 4+ test and gain 2 investigation for every 4 rolled. All right, brother Marcus has an honor of 3 and has a +1 upgrade to that. So he'll be rolling a total of 4 dice. And here's his roll. And brother Marcus has a 6 and a 5, so he's got 2 successes. He's going to gain a total of 4 investigation. That is great. And that's going to end brother Marcus's turn, and we'll move on to Eliza the Witch Hunter. She is back in Shadowbrook at the town hall. And we'll begin Eliza's turn with a movement roll. Roll is a 6, so she's got 6 movement points. And I think Eliza is going to spend 4 movement points, and she's going to move to the abandoned keep. There's no enemies at the abandoned keep, so Eliza is going to take her actions. Eliza doesn't have any investigation, so she's going to play the card Leading Questions. Play as an action to gain D3 investigation. All right. And Eliza will make a D3 roll. She rolls a 3, so that's going to earn her a total of 3 investigation tokens. That's great. Now, Eliza has a special ability called Inquisition. Anytime she reveals a town elder's secrets, gain 4 investigation for every little secret or evil card revealed. Limit once per turn. So she's going to use the Brilliant Deduction event, and it says to peek at the secrets of one town elder without revealing them. Now this will give her the flexibility, since she's peeking at them, she can determine whether she wants to reveal them or not, and then claim that 4 investigation for revealing that secret. So she'll be able to decide whether she wants to do that or not. And I think she's going to select Dr. Manning. Now, we know Dr. Manning is a drunkard. We know that from one of the event cards, which placed an extra secret on him. So for sure she'll be able to reveal that and gain 4 investigation. And his secrets are revealed to be drunkard and werewolf scratch. Now that says reveal immediately, but she's peeking at the cards, so that gives her the flexibility as to whether she wants to reveal those or not. And in that case, she won't reveal that. She will reveal the little secret, drunkard, and that will, with her Inquisition ability, gain her 4 investigation. And Eliza's next action is going to be to heal wounds. Now that's going to cost her 3 investigation. It's a little expensive, but before we encounter the space, I'd like her to have the best chance possible. So we're going to have her pay 3 investigation and heal the wound that she has. It's going to leave her with 4 investigation, and all of her wounds are healed now. She only had 1 wound there. So now she's going to encounter the space, and we're going to draw an Abandoned Keep card. And the card is revealed to be Loveless Pendant, Item, Relic. +2 to honor. Anytime a mystery card is played, you may take a wound to place it here instead. If the Loveless Pendant is discarded, all mystery cards here are played. Okay, well that's kind of an interesting item, and we'll add that to her tableau. And I think we're going to end Eliza's turn there, and we'll move on to Argot Blackwell. He's at the inn on the Echo Lake board. And we'll begin Argot's turn by having him roll for movement. He rolls a 2. He has a horse, so that'll add a +1 to his movement. That'll give him a total of 3 movement points. And I think Argot is going to use those movement points to move east to the monastery. He'll spend 3 movement points and arrive at the monastery. Argot's arrived at the monastery, and he's going to encounter the space. There were no enemies there to fight, so he'll draw a monastery card. The card is revealed to be Brother Darius, ally, male, holy. It's going to provide Argot with an extra wound box and a +1 to spirit, which is great. His flavor text reads, "Come with me, I can show you the way." That's great. We'll add that to his tableau. And now Argot is going to buy monastery items. He has a total of 4 investigation available. And Argot's going to spend a total of 3 investigation. He's going to purchase an Oath of Devotion and a guide. The Oath of Devotion is Monastery, Oath, Holy. +1 to Spirit. You gain the keyword Holy. Does not count against your carrying limit. Limit 1 oath. And then he's purchased a guide for 1. Monastery, Ally. You may discard the guide to cancel and redraw any location card you have just drawn. Brother Janus will act as your guide. All right, that is great. Argot has spent 3 investigation. That moves him down to 1 investigation token remaining. And he's, the Oath of Devotion does not count against the carrying limit, which is great. So right now, Argot has a total of 2 cards in his tableau that are counting against his carrying limit. You're allowed to have 1 card from each corner location, and then up to 3 cards from the monastery items, town items, etc. All right, I think that's going to end Argot's turn, and we'll move on to Dr. Edwards. He's currently KO'd, and he's at the town hall. Dr. Edwards is KO'd, so he won't be able to take any moves or actions this turn, and he will recover during the mystery phase, which we're going to be moving on to next. And the first actionable step in the mystery phase is the KO'd heroes will recover. Dr. Edwards stands up at the town hall. He's fully healed, and he'll be able to take actions during the next turn. Next step will be our cooperative mystery phase chart roll. We're going to roll 2d6 and see what happens. Roll is a 7, and that's Surge of Evil. Roll once on the villain's minion chart and work out the result. If it is a minion or the villain attacks, draw a random location for placement. Okay. So we'll consult the Draug's minion chart and roll a d6. Result is a 3, and that's going to be a barrow shade is going to appear. All right, we're going to draw a layer card and see where it pops up. And the barrow shade is going to appear at the covered bridge. So we've placed the barrow shade at the covered bridge. Our next step is the mystery card draw phase. And the mystery card is revealed to be a Tavern's Tall Tale, Mystery Hysteria. If the Harbor Master is still alive, anytime a hero wants to look at the secrets of a town elder, they must first pass an Honor 5+ test. If failed, any investigation or cards used are wasted. If he is dead or joined the villain, discard and move the shadow track 2 steps closer to darkness. Remains in play. All right, well, we'll add that to their tableau of mystery cards that remain in play, and we'll see if we can maybe try to get rid of that one too in the future turn. And that's going to complete the mystery phase. We're going to move our first player marker to Eliza, and we'll start another hero turn. Eliza's at the abandoned keep, and we'll have her roll for movement. Her roll is a 2. Now she has the option of moving the 2 movement points, or she can take a secret passage from the abandoned keep to Smuggler's Cove on the coast board. That's going to cost her 1 investigation to do so. And I think she'll do that. She's going to spend 1 investigation, and she's going to take the secret passage to Smuggler's Cove. So Eliza arrives at Smuggler's Cove. There are no enemies to fight, so she'll go with her take actions phase. And she's going to begin by encountering her space, and we'll have her draw a Smuggler's Cove card. And the card is revealed to be Maze of Caves, Investigation. Lost in the twisting tunnels, you move further into the darkness. Make an Honor 5+ test. If successful, gain 2 investigation for every 5+ rolled, and immediately move to and encounter a random location. If failed, you may not move next turn, but must linger here. All right. Eliza's honor is 2, but she has the Loveless Pendant, which gives her a +2 to honor, so she'll be able to roll 4 dice to attempt this honor test. So she'll roll 4 dice, and she's looking for 5s or greater. And she has 1 success. She has a 5. That's going to earn her 2 investigation, and she's going to immediately move and encounter a random location. So she's earned 2 investigation. That brings her investigation up to a total of 5, and she's going to move to the fields. That's on the Shadowbrook board, where she'll be able to encounter the fields. Now the fields are a dangerous location, so she's going to have to roll a d6, and on a roll of 3 or greater, she can draw an event. Otherwise, she has to resolve a mystery card. Rolls a 6, and that entitles her to an event card draw. That's great. The event card is Search for the Truth event. Play to look at a town elder's secrets without revealing them. You may discard any number of those secrets by paying 1 investigation each. Afterward, if the town elder has no secrets remaining, draw 1 new secret for them without looking. It says, I will find what I'm looking for. Okay. We placed that event card in the community pool of cards, and that's going to end Eliza's turn. We'll move on to Argot Blackwell. He is at the monastery. And we'll begin with Argot's roll for movement. His roll is a 5. He has the horse. That'll give him a total of 6 movement points. And I think he is going to travel to the Forgotten Island and meet up with Brother Marcus. He has a plan. Argot is going to spend 1 movement point to move into the North Dock and 2 movement points to cross Echo Lake in a boat, and he reaches the Forgotten Island where Brother Marcus is exploring. So he arrives at the Forgotten Island, and there are no enemies there, and he is going to begin his take action step. His first one is going to be to do a trade action. And what he's going to do is he's going to trade his horse for Brother Marcus's cavalry horse. Argot is going to be able to have much more use with the cavalry horse using the +1 to combat, where Brother Marcus has the ability to use his faithful ability using spirit. So we're going to exchange those cavalry horse for the horse. And next up, he is going to encounter his space and will make a Forgotten Island card draw. Card is revealed to be Sacred Stone, item magic. +1 to spirit, +1 to honor. Discard at any time except during a fight round to fully heal or to cancel a curse on any hero in your space, including yourself. Well, that's a great card. We'll add that to Argot Blackwell's tableau. And I think that's going to end Argot's turn, and we'll move on to Dr. Edwards. He's recently recovered, and he's at the town hall in Shadowbrook. And Dr. Edwards will begin by making his movement roll. He rolls a 5, and that's modified to a 6. He also has a horse, and we'll see where Dr. Edwards is going to travel to. And I think Dr. Edwards is going to travel to the windmill. He'll spend 4 movement points, and he'll travel to the windmill and explore there. And Dr. Edwards arrives at the windmill. There are no enemies there to fight, so he is going to go to his actions phase, and he's going to encounter the space. We'll have him draw a windmill card. And the card's revealed to be a pitchfork, item, hand weapon, +1 to combat. Once per fight round, you may re-roll 1 of your fight dice. If the re-roll is a 1, discard this item. Okay, well, we'll add that to his tableau. That's great. And that's going to complete Dr. Edwards' turn, and I think we'll move on to Brother Marcus. Brother Marcus is at the Forgotten Island. And Brother Marcus will start with a movement roll. His roll is a 1. He has a horse, so that will give him a total of 2 movement points, but it's a natural 1, and that entitles him to a draw of an event card. And the event is revealed to be Honorable Gesture, Event Honor. Give any hero or town elder +2 honor for the rest of the turn or showdown fight round. Or prevent any number of wounds that another hero is about to take. Gain 2 investigation for each wound prevented this way. All right, that's a good card. We'll add that to our collection of community event cards. And now Brother Marcus has 2 movement points to spend. And this outlines the benefits of having transport. That 1 would have landlocked Brother Marcus on the Forgotten Island, and he would have had to have done a lingering roll there because he would be unable to move. It costs a minimum of 2 movement points to leave the island. So he has 2 movement points, and he's going to move to the South Dock. He's reached the South Dock, and that's a dangerous location. He'll have to make a d6 roll, and on a 3 or greater, he can draw another event. And here's his roll. Roll is a 1, and Brother Marcus is going to have to resolve a mystery card. And that card is revealed to be the Devil's Mark, Mystery Curse. This card plays on the hero that drew it. -1 honor remains in play. All right, Brother Marcus has that Strength of Spirit ability, and I think he's going to try to use that to discard that card. Brother Marcus is going to spend 2 investigation, and on a roll of 4 or greater, he can cancel that card. Here's the roll. Roll is a 2. He's unsuccessful, so he does have the Devil's Mark, and that's going to remain in play until maybe a future turn where he can discard it. All right, I think that's going to end Brother Marcus's turn, and we're going to move on to the mystery phase. And we'll begin the phase with the Advanced Cooperative Mystery Phase chart roll. Here is the roll. Roll is a 7, and that's Surge of Evil again. Roll once on the villain's minion chart and work out the result. If a minion or the villain attacks, draw a random location for placement. All right, we'll consult the Draug's minion chart. We'll roll a d6 and see what happens. The result is a 1, and that's a ghost soldier. That's going to appear at a random location. Ghost soldier will appear at the inn, and we have placed the ghost soldier there. And that is going to complete the cooperative mystery phase chart segment, and we'll move on to the mystery card draw. And the mystery card is March of Darkness, mystery. Every minion on the board moves 2 spaces along the shortest path toward the town hall. If there are no minions on the board, roll once on the villain minion chart, re-rolling any event result, and place that minion at 2 random locations. Okay. We'll make a roll on the minion chart. Roll is a 1, and that's a ghost soldier. So we're going to be placing 2 ghost soldiers in 2 separate random locations. So we'll be placing 1 at the inn and 1 at the blacksmith. Now there's already a ghost soldier at the inn, so when the new one comes into that location, it's going to force the existing one down the path closer towards the town hall. So we've placed a ghost soldier at the inn that's forced out the existing one down the path closer to the town hall, and another ghost soldier appeared on the shadow brick board at the blacksmith. And that's going to complete the mystery phase. We're going to move our first player token from Eliza to Argot Blackwell, and we'll begin a new turn. All right, our first player is going to be Argot Blackwell. He is at the Forgotten Island, and we're going to have him roll for movement. Now he has the cavalry horse, which gives him +1 to his roll. He rolls a 4, and that's a total of 5 movement points. I think we're going to have Argot move towards the bog, where he can head off that group of ghost soldiers that are approaching the town hall. So we'll have him use those 5 movement points. He'll have 2 movement points to cross from the Forgotten Island to the South Dock, and then he'll move towards the bog and try to cut those things off. All right, Argot has reached the bog, and there's no enemies in that location, so he will conduct his actions, and he'll start out with encountering his space. Bog is a dangerous location, so Argot will be rolling a d6, and on a 3 or greater, he'll draw an event. Roll is a 3, so he's going to draw an event card. The event is Intuitive Hunch. Event Spirit. Give any hero or town elder +2 spirit for the rest of the turn, or showdown fight round, or peek at the secrets of one town elder without revealing them. All right, that's a good card. We'll add that to our collection of event cards. And that's going to end the turn for Argot. We'll move on to Dr. Edwards, and he is at the windmill. Dr. Edwards will make a roll for movement. He has a horse, so he'll be adding +1. Rolls a 5, and that's a total of 6. So Dr. Edwards, he could attempt to challenge either one of the ghost soldiers or the barrow shade at the covered bridge, but he does have a pitchfork now. That's going to raise his combat up from 2 to 3, but I think Dr. Edwards is going to be more in a support role. So I think we're going to move him 4 movement points, and we'll have him move to the manor. Dr. Edwards arrives at the manor. There's no enemies there, so he's going to undertake his actions. Dr. Edwards will start by encountering his space and will draw a manor card. Card is revealed to be Secret Passage, Investigation. Moving an old book on the shelf, a creaky door opens to reveal a dusty passage. The faint sound of violin and the aroma of sulfur beckons you inside. Make a cunning 4+ test and gain 1 investigation for every 4+ rolled. If successful, also immediately move to and encounter any other named space on the board. Oh, that's very interesting. Dr. Edwards has a cunning of 3, so he'll be rolling 3 dice for the test. Here's the roll. And he has rolled 3 successes. That's going to give him 3 investigation, and he can move and encounter any space on the board. Dr. Edwards has decided to travel to the monastery. He has a total of 7 investigation, and he's hoping to eventually buy some equipment at the monastery. So, but first we're going to have to make an encounter at the monastery. We'll draw a card. Card reads, Test of Torment. Investigation, danger. Captured and held as a witch, you are put to the test of torment. It's okay though if you don't survive. Then you will have been found innocent. Make a combat 5+ test using your base combat skill. If successful, gain 1 honor marker. If failed, take D6 wounds. All right, Dr. Edwards' base combat value is 2, so that'll allow him to roll 2 dice. And here's his roll. He's rolled 1 5, so he's successful. He gains a +1 honor marker, which is great. That's going to boost his honor up to 6. Great job by Dr. Edwards. And now, as a part of his encounter at the monastery, he can buy some monastery items. So we'll take a look and see what he wants to buy. Dr. Edwards has selected an Oath of Devotion and a Burning Censer. Oath of Devotion will give him a +1 spirit, and he's going to gain the keyword Holy. That does not count against his carrying limit. His other choice is the Burning Censer, Monastery, Item, Holy, and Fire. Once per turn, or showdown fight round, you may re-roll any number of dice when making a spirit test. This includes when using spirit instead of combat during a fight. So that's going to help him when he's combating the ghost soldiers and the barrel shades. And as well as this is a fire item, that is going to help him if he encounters any of the living trees. So I think those were very strategic purchases by Dr. Edwards. That's going to close out his turn. We'll move on to Brother Marcus. He's at the South Dock. Brother Marcus is going to make a roll for movement. He has a horse, so he'll be adding 1 to the roll. Roll is a 4, and that's going to be modified to a 5. And I think Brother Marcus is going to confront the ghost soldier on the road north of the bog, and he's going to move there. Brother Marcus arrives on the road space, and there is an enemy there, so he will have to fight the ghost soldiers. The ghost soldiers have 3 fight dice, and they are ethereal. Heroes must use spirit instead of combat during this fight. And that's going to work quite well for Brother Marcus, as he has a spirit value of 4, so he'll be rolling 4 dice. And here's our first round of combat. Brother Marcus has 1 hit, but the ghost soldiers have inflicted 2 hits. Brother Marcus is going to take 2 wounds, but Argot Blackwell is going to play the card Honorable Gesture. Prevent any number of wounds that another hero is about to take. Gain 2 investigation for each wound prevented in this way. All right, so that's going to earn Argot a total of 4 investigation, and that will prevent the wounds that Brother Marcus had taken. That's great. Ghost soldiers have 1 wound, and Brother Marcus will need to inflict another 2 to dispatch them. We're going to go to round 2 of combat. Now, the ghost soldiers possess another ability called Overrun, and that's if the hero does no hits to the ghost soldiers, he's going to be forced to escape. Okay, so here is the roll for our second round of combat. All right, to roll this one again. And Brother Marcus ended up with 1 hit, but the ghost soldiers inflicted a total of 3 hits, and that is enough to KO Brother Marcus, unfortunately. Oh! So the ghost soldiers has not been defeated. They will remain, but Brother Marcus is KO'd. That's going to award the villain +1 wounds, and Brother Marcus will be taken to the town hall to recuperate. And that was unfortunate. So we'll move on from Brother Marcus's turn to Eliza the Witch Hunter. She is in the fields. Incidentally, I forgot to make a D6 roll when Brother Marcus was KO'd, and I rolled a 6. So that used up his 2 investigation tokens, and he also lost his horse and his guide. So he has absolutely nothing now other than He still maintains that Devil's Mark, which lowers his honor by 1. All right, now it is Eliza the Witch Hunter's turn. She's in the fields, so we'll have her make a roll for movement. Roll is a 5, and I think we're going to get her to go to the church where she is going to be able to train spirit. Now she has that loveless pendant, which gives her +2 to honor. That'll improve her honor to 4, so she'd be rolling 4 dice for this training spirit exercise. So we'll move her there. So Eliza makes it to the church, and there are no enemies there. She's going to encounter the space. First step in the encounter, she gets to draw an event card. Card is listed as Recovery Event. Play at any time except during a fight to immediately heal D6 wounds from a hero or D3 wounds from the villain, or play to immediately take any ally out of any discard pile. All right. Eliza is now going to train spirit, so she's going to spend 2 investigation. That leaves her with 3 investigation left, and she's going to make an honor 5+ test. Her honor with the loveless pendant is 4, so she'll be rolling 4 dice. Any result of a 5, and she'll be able to increase her spirit by 1. Here's the roll. And she did it. She's got a 6, so that's going to give her a +1 to spirit, increasing her spirit to 4. That's great. And I think that's going to end Eliza's turn, and we are going to go to the mystery phase. Our first actionable step in the mystery phase is that KO'd heroes will stand up, they recover. Brother Marcus stands up in the town hall, and he's ready for action. He has all of his wound boxes available, but unfortunately he has no equipment or investigation tokens left. Now it's going to be our cooperative mystery phase chart roll. We'll roll 2d6 and consult the chart. The roll is a 12, and that's Sign of the Dark Omen. One of the town elders, previously thought dead, stumbles back into town. The first player immediately chooses any dead town elder, not evil elder, and returns them to play. Discard any secrets the town elder had and draw 2 new secrets for them without looking. Also, discard the top card from each location deck. Move the shadow track 1 step closer to darkness, and each hero gains 1 investigation. If there are no dead town elders, the first player instead chooses a town elder to gain a resolve token. And that's the case here. We have no dead town elders, so we can choose one to gain a resolve token. That's great. And I think we're going to select Reverend Harding. He provides us with +1 fight dice against all other types of creatures. It would be +2 if it was a vampire, ghost, or demon, but it's +1 against all others. So I think we'll select Reverend Harding to gain that resolve token. All right, we've assigned him the resolve token, and now we'll move on to the mystery card draw. And the mystery card reads, There's no such thing. Mystery Hysteria. If Magistrate Croft is still alive, roll a d6 for every gun currently in play, including unsold town items. On a roll of 4+, remove it from the game. If he's been killed or has joined the villain, move the shadow track 2 steps closer to darkness instead. And his flavor text reads, Clearly, mortal men are behind this. Turn in your firearms. All right, I'm going to make those rolls off camera for all gun items. All right, I've made rolls for 2 pistols, a musket, a crossbow, and a dueling pistol. The only one that is going to be removed from play is one of the pistols. So we're going to put that back in the box, and that is going to be out of play. That's going to end the mystery phase. We'll move our first player token from Argot Blackwell to Dr. Edwards, and we'll continue with another turn. All right, we're ready to begin another hero turn, and our first player is going to be Dr. Edwards. He's at the monastery. And he'll start out with roll for movement. His roll is a 4, and with his horse, that gives him a total of 5 movement points. And I think rather than using standard movement, Dr. Edwards is going to use the secret passage, and he's going to pay 1 investigation that will move him back to the manor. Dr. Edwards is back at the manor, and there are no enemies to fight, so he's going to go take his actions, and he'll start by encountering the space. We'll draw a manor card. And he draws a cloaked assassin, minion assassin. Upon returning to your room for the evening, you are ambushed by a shadowy figure. The cloaked assassin has 2 fight dice, 2 health. Edwards will gain 4 investigation as a reward if he can defeat him, but it says you may not use any items or allies during the fight and may not escape. All right, well, Dr. Edwards has a combat value of 2, and so they'll each be rolling 2 dice during the fight rounds. And we'll begin with the first fight round. Dr. Edwards has rolled 2 hits. The Cloaked Assassin has rolled 1 hit, so he has defeated the Cloaked Assassin, has a health of 2. So that means Dr. Edwards is going to take a wound, but he's going to earn 4 investigation as a reward. That's great. And that's going to end Dr. Edwards' turn, and we'll move on to Brother Marcus. He is at the town hall. All right, now we'll move on to Brother Marcus. He is at the town hall, and he's going to roll for movement. His roll is a 4. I think Brother Marcus is going to challenge the ghost soldier at the blacksmith, so he'll spend 1 movement point moving into the blacksmith shop, and he will combat the ghost soldiers. Ghost soldiers have 3 fight dice, and they're ethereal, so that means that Brother Marcus is going to be using his spirit to combat them, and he has a spirit of 4. So he'll be rolling 4 dice. Ghost soldiers will be rolling 3. And here's the roll for the first round. Brother Marcus has 1 hit, and the ghost soldiers have 2 hits. Brother Marcus is going to play the event Intuitive Hunch. Give any hero or town elder +2 spirit for the rest of the turn. So that's going to allow Brother Marcus to roll an extra 2 dice with his spirit ability. And that produces another 2 hits for Brother Marcus. That'll be a total of 3 hits, and that's sufficient to take out the ghost soldiers. Now, I have no event cards that can stop any of the wounds that Brother Marcus took, so he will be taking 2 wounds, but the ghost soldiers have been defeated, and that's going to earn Brother Marcus a reward of 5 investigation, so that's great. And so that's going to earn him 5 investigation, and now he can interact with the blacksmith shop, and then he's going to begin by drawing an event. And the event is listed as aggressive combat. Event combat, give any hero, minion, or villain +2 combat for 1 fight round. Okay. And now at the shop, Brother Marcus is going to spend 4 investigation out of the 5 he just earned. He's going to pick up an old map and a horse. He's going to replace the horse that he lost when he was KO'd. The old map will allow him to move anywhere to any space on the board by discarding that. It also, for the time being, gives him +1 to honor. And that leaves Brother Marcus with 1 investigation. I think we'll end his turn, and we'll move on to Eliza, the witch hunter. She's at the church. Eliza will begin by rolling for movement. Her roll is a 6. She's got 6 movement points. And I think Eliza is going to spend 4 movement points, and she's going to move to the covered bridge and confront that barrow shade. So she reaches the covered bridge, and a barrow shade appears in front of her. Barrow shade has 2 fight dice, 2 health, and a reward of 2 if she can kill it. It's also ethereal, so that's going to force Eliza to use her spirit during the combat. And the barrow shade also has that death's gaze. If she doesn't do any wounds to the barrow shade during a fight round, she must immediately escape, or she would be KO'd. All right, Eliza has a spirit of 3, and she managed to get a +1 improvement to that when she was at the church. So she'll be rolling a total of 4 dice, and the shade will be rolling a total of 2. All right, here's the roll for the first round. Eliza has 2 hits and the shade has 1 hit. All right, so that is going to kill the shade. She's going to be awarded 2 investigation, and she's going to take 1 wound though. That'll improve her up to 5 investigation tokens, and now she's going to encounter the space. Now the covered bridge is a dangerous location. She's going to be rolling a d6. On a 3 or greater, she can draw an event. Unfortunately, the roll is a 1, and that means she's going to have to resolve a mystery card. And the mystery card's revealed to be Guarded Secrets, Mystery. Roll a d6 and place this card on the Town Elder with honor equal to the roll. If more than 1, choose. If none, move the shadow track d3 spaces forward instead. This Town Elder's secrets may not be discarded or looked at, except when taken as a part of a hunting party, or if it is killed in a cooperative game, remains in play. All right, well, we'll make the roll. Roll is a 5, so we're going to be looking for an elder with an honor value equal to 5. The only elder with an honor of 5 is Sophie the Midwife, so we're going to place that card over her secrets cards. And we place that mystery card over her secrets cards, and we won't be able to examine those unless we can get rid of that mystery card. All right, that is going to end Eliza's turn, and we'll move on to Argot Blackwell. He is at the bog. All right, Argot is at the bog, and he's going to roll for movement. His roll is a 3, and that's modified to a 4 because of his cavalry horse. And I think he's going to attack the ghost soldiers on the road north of him. Argot moves into the road space, and he is accosted by a horde of ghost soldiers. Now, as we know, those ghost soldiers are ethereal, so that means that Argot is going to have to use his spirit abilities. Now, he has a base spirit ability of 2. He's going to gain +1 spirit from his Oath of Devotion, +1 spirit from Brother Darius, and +1 spirit from the Sacred Stone. So he's going to be rolling a total of 5 dice. Ghost soldiers will be rolling 3. All right, and here's the combat roll for the first round. The first round, the ghost soldiers inflict no hits, and Argot has 1/5, and he's going to hit the ghost soldiers with 1 wound. We mark the ghost soldiers with 1 wound. They need 2 more to be destroyed. Here's the fight roll for the second round. In the second round, Argot does no hits, and the ghost soldiers do 1 hit. So we're going to mark Argot with 1 hit. And unfortunately, the ghost soldiers have a special ability called Overrun. If the hero does no hits to the ghost soldiers during a fight round, roll a d6. On a 1 or 2, the hero must immediately escape the fight, if possible. They are driven off by the ghastly horde. All right, we'll make the roll. All right, here's the roll. Roll is a 6, so Argot is able to maintain his status in the combat, and we'll move on to a new round. All right, here's the next round of combat. Argot does 1 hit. He has a 5. Ghost soldiers do no hits. So we'll place another wound on the ghost soldiers. If he can get 1 more, he will have defeated them. Right, here's the next roll for combat. Argot does no hits, and the ghost soldiers do 2 hits to him. Well, he is going to place 1 of the hits on his normal card. That'll give him 2 wounds. And he's also going to place the wound on Abigail Stern, who has a wound box. That will help to absorb some of the damage. Now Argot's going to have to roll for that overrun. On a 1 or 2, he must escape. Rolls a 4, he can continue the combat. That's great. Start another fight round, and here's the roll. Argo does 2 hits, and he has taken the ghost soldiers out. Ghost soldiers do no wounds to him. He's defeated the ghost soldiers, and he's going to earn 5 investigation. That's great. All right, Argo is going to play the event card Recovery. Play it any time except during a fight to immediately heal D6 wounds from a hero. And that's what we're going to do. So we'll make a D6 roll and see if he can clear up some of that damage. Roll is a 3, and that's just enough to repair the damage for him. He'll remove the wound tokens from himself and the wound from Abigail Stern. And that's going to end Argot Blackwell's turn. Now, he technically has enough to purchase his hero upgrade. He has 10 investigation, and he would have to discard a event card. But I think I'll wait on that a little bit till he can build up a little bit more investigation. So we're going to move on to the mystery phase. We'll start with our advanced cooperative mystery phase chart roll. We're going to roll 2d6 and see what happens. Roll is a 6, and that is March of Darkness. Every minion on the board immediately moves 2 spaces along the shortest path to the town hall. There are no minions on the board. Instead, roll once on the villain minion chart, re-rolling event results, and place a minion at 2 random locations. Well, there is a minion on the board, and that is a ghost soldier, and that is going to move towards the town hall. And that means it's going to move into Argot Blackwell's space, and he's going to have to combat that right away. The ghost soldiers enter the road space, and Argot Blackwell turns to confront them. Same procedure. Argo is going to be rolling a total of 5 dice. He'll be using his spirit against the ghost soldiers, and they'll be rolling 3 dice. Here's the roll for the first round. Ghost soldiers inflict 2 hits on Argo, and he inflicts 2 hits on them. 1 more hit, and he will defeat the ghost soldiers. We'll continue on with round 2 of the combat. And here's the roll. And Argo ends up getting the hit he needs, and he's defeated the ghost soldiers. They have done no hits to him. So he defeats the ghost soldiers, earning himself another 5 investigation, giving him 15. And the heroes have managed to clear the board of any minions. So now we'll move on to the mystery card phase. And the card is revealed to be Primal Evil Mystery. The card plays on the villain. It gains the keyword Beast. And that's going to add +2 to its combat rating, giving it a total combat of 8. And that card is going to remain in play. All right. And that's going to bring the mystery phase to a close. We're going to move our first player marker from Dr. Edwards to Brother Marcus. And we're going to be beginning another turn. Brother Marcus is at the blacksmith, and he's going to roll for movement. He has purchased a horse now. He rolls a 5, that's modified to a 6, so he's got 6 movement points. And I think Brother Marcus is going to spend 5 movement points, and he's going to travel to the abandoned keep. Brother Marcus arrives at the abandoned keep. There are no enemies there, so he is going to encounter the space, and he'll draw an abandoned keep card. He draws the card Highwaymen, Minion Men. They have 2 fight dice, 2 health. Reward for their defeat is 4 investigation. It says if not defeated in the first fight round, Highwayman steals one of your items, discard your choice, and disappears, ending the fight. All right. So the Highwayman will be rolling 2 dice, and Brother Marcus is going to use his Faithful ability, which will allow him to use Spirit instead of combat in the fight. Brother Marcus will be rolling 4 fight dice, and the Highwayman 2. Here's the roll. Brother Marcus does 1 hit. The Highwaymen do 2 hits. And that is going to be sufficient to KO Brother Marcus, unfortunately. Brother Marcus is KO'd, and that's going to increase the villain's wound capacity now up to a total of 28. Now Brother Marcus will have to roll, and he has to lose a combined amount of investigation and or items equal to the total of the roll. Here is the roll. He rolls a 1, and that's great. That'll cost him 1 investigation. He'll be able to keep his horse and old map, and then he is going to be taken to the town hall to recover. And we'll move on to Eliza, the witch hunter. She's at the covered bridge. Eliza is going to make a roll for movement. Her roll is a 6, and I think Eliza is going to head to the old woods. We'll have her expend 2 movement points, and she'll head to the old woods. Eliza arrives in the old woods, and there are no minions there, so she is going to conduct her actions, and she'll start by encountering her space. We'll draw an old woods card. Cards revealed to be Hanging Skulls, Investigation. Hollow chimes in the whistling wind. 5 human skulls hang from a low branch, adorned with red sigils and feathers. The song of a dead echoes through the woods. Make a Spirit 4+ test and gain 1 investigation for every 4+ rolled. Okay. Eliza has a total spirit now with her improved spirit equal to 4, so she'll be rolling 4 dice. Right, here's her Spirit 4+ test. And she rolls 1 success, so that'll earn her 1 investigation, giving her a total of 6 investigation. Eliza is currently carrying 1 wound, and I think I'm going to spend 3 of her investigation to heal that wound. That'll give her a total of 3 investigation remaining, and she's completely healed. And that's going to end Eliza's turn. We'll move on to Argot Blackwell. He is on the road space just south of the inn. All right, Argot and his cavalry horse are going to roll for movement. Roll is a 1. That's modified to 2, and that's going to allow him to draw an event card. The event's revealed to be Autopsy. Event Science. Play as an action while at the doctor's office, and only if there is at least 1 town elder dead, gain D6 investigation. Okay. Argot has 2 movement points available. He's going to move to the inn, and we'll see what's happening there. There are no minions present, so he's going to continue on with his action phase. And I think what he's going to do is he's going to start by gaining his hero upgrade. It says, as an action, during their turn, a hero may pay 10 investigation and discard 1 event to level up, gaining their unique hero upgrade card. Once the hero gains the upgrade, he can never lose it for the rest of the game. And that's what he's going to do. So he's going to pay a total of 10 investigation, and I believe he's going to discard that autopsy card that he just drew, and we probably won't use that anytime soon. And he's going to gain his hero upgrade, and that gives him Evil at Bay. Whenever you draw a mystery card as the first player or some other game effect, cancel it on a D6 of 4+. All right, that is good. It also gives him +1 more to spirit and another wound box. So that is a great improvement for him. And now Argot is going to encounter his space at the inn. It says before encountering, gain 2 investigation or heal 1 wound. Well, he's going to heal a wound. That's great. That'll leave him with only 1 wound remaining. And now he's going to draw an inn card. And he finds a cutlass. That's an item and a hand weapon. It would give him +1 to combat. And then when making a spirit, cunning, or honor test, he can re-roll 1 of the dice. If the re-roll is a 1, he must discard the cutlass. Now the problem is he's already got a corner card from the inn, and that's the Abigail Stern card, which gives him a wound box and +1 to cunning. So we have to decide which one of those we want to have. I think we're going to keep the Abigail Stern card. That gives us the +1 to cunning in the wound box, so we will discard the cutlass. And that's kind of the inherent problem with investigating locations more than once, as you build up items and you're only able to keep 1 item from that corner location. All right, that is going to bring Argot Blackwell's turn to a close. We'll move on to Dr. Edwards. He is at the manor. Dr. Edwards will roll for movement. He has a horse, so he'll be gaining +1. Rolls a 6, and that's going to be modified to a 7. I think Dr. Edwards is going to spend 3 movement points. He's going to move to the church. He arrives at the church. There are no minions there, so he can begin his action phase. He's going to begin by encountering his space, and at the church he can draw an event. He draws the event Party Invitation. Play immediately. Play this card on any hero. That hero may now carry 1 additional card from either the manor or the windmill. Remains in play. All right, well, I think we'll play that on Dr. Edwards himself. He's already carrying a pitchfork from the windmill, so that would allow him to revisit the windmill and keep another corner card from there. So that's what we'll do. We'll play that on him. Now Dr. Edwards has the ability to train spirit by paying 2 investigation and making an honor 5+ test. If he's successful, he will gain +1 spirit. And I think he'll do that. His honor right now is a total of 5, and he has a +1 modifier to that, so he'll be rolling 6 dice for the test. All right, and here's his roll. And he easily passes that, so Dr. Edwards is going to gain a +1 to his spirit. That moves his base spirit up to a total of 3, and that's great. That's going to end Dr. Edwards' turn, and we're going to move on now to the mystery phase. All right, we're going to begin the mystery phase with the KO'd heroes reviving, and that means that Brother Marcus will be fully healed, and he's going to stand up at the town hall. Next up is our co-op mystery phase chart roll, and here's the roll. Roll is a 5, and that's Darkness Falls. The shadow track immediately moves D3 steps closer to darkness. The heroes may collectively take 5 wounds divided as they see fit to prevent this. No hero may take more wounds than they have health boxes. All right, well, we're not going to deny that. We're going to roll a D3 and move up the shadow track. All right, here's the D3 roll. Shadow track is going to move only 1 space, so that'll move from 20 to 19. And so far, we've done a pretty good job on managing that shadow track. It's only at 19, and we've played quite a while already. Now we'll move on to the draw mystery card phase. And that card is revealed to be Murder. Mystery Death. The villain has struck again. Place 3 investigation on the board at a random location. Move the shadow track 1 step closer to darkness. The flavor text reads, "Don't any of you people understand? This is no accident, it's murder." Well, the villain has some activities when a murder card is drawn. And in this case, it says, for his setup motivation, chaos. The Draug is driven by pure and unadulterated hatred of the living, and it seeks to cause mayhem and destruction at all costs. Whenever the mystery card Murder is drawn, place a roadblock token at a random location and remove all of the investigation tokens from the space containing the most investigation. Player decides if multiple locations are tied. All right, the spot currently with the most investigation is the icy waters. So that location is going to lose all of the investigation tokens. Now we're going to draw a layer card and place a roadblock token in that location, and that's going to be at the town square. So the town square has a blocked road location, and that blocked road location will remain there until the shadow track crosses into another stage. Another ability of the Draug is Insatiable Desire for Flesh. Anytime the mystery card Murder is played, roll a d6. On a result of 5 or 6, a random town elder is devoured by the Draug. Remove the random elder from play and advance the shadow track 2 spaces. All right, we'll make the roll. Here's the roll. The roll is a 6, so a random elder is going to be devoured. And I've determined that the random elder is going to be Sophie the midwife. So she has been devoured. That'll move the shadow track up 2 steps. Shadow track moves from 19 to 17. And now the effects of the murder card will kick in, and the shadow track will move 1 step closer to darkness there, moving it to the 2nd stage. The villain is going to gain 2 wound tokens. And that's going to increase his wound capacity up to a total of 29 now. Now we've crossed into a new stage, so that is going to remove the blocked road token from the coast board. That didn't stay on for very long. And now we're going to draw a random location, and that's where the villain is going to strike, and 3 investigation will go there. And he's going to strike at Smuggler's Cove, and we'll place 3 investigation tokens there. So 3 investigation are at Smuggler's Cove. And that's going to bring the mystery phase to a close. We're going to move our first player marker from Brother Marcus to Eliza. And I think we're going to end this episode here. Thanks so much for joining me at the Solo Gamers Club, and I hope to see you again for our 3rd installment of A Touch of Evil 10-year anniversary edition against the Draug. Thanks for watching, and have a nice evening.